Hey YouTube, Coppersan here. Today we're checking out the remastered Marksman who got a new look, changes to their mobility, and their range mechanic got completely removed and instead they received an enhanced arrow mechanic. It's a new fresh look, but they still are shooting as straight as an arrow. Like I mentioned in the previous video, this is still in the test server, so some skills might still be buffed, nerfed, or changed before they hit the live server, so please do keep that in mind. This update will most likely be released in about 6 months from now in MapleStory Global and MapleStory C. In their first job, their skills are mostly the same, except for that mobbing attack that is kind of weird, because every arrow in that animation is a separate attack. So if you clip like monsters with only the edge of it, you will only deal 1 line of damage instead of 3. But hey, at least it's better than what they had before, so hey, there's that. In second job, marksmen are getting quite a few impactful changes already. The skills Rangefinder and Judge Distance have been removed. Iron Arrow has been changed into a new skill called Piercing. This skill deals 130% damage 4 times and hits up to 6 enemies. And for every enemy it pierces through, the final damage is increased by 15% and this stacks multiplicatively. I think that's how you pronounce that word. In the old Iron Arrow just did 450% damage once, so that seems like a nice buff to me. Of course, the Rangefinder final damage and IAD buffs have been removed, so it looks like this attack was buffed to make up for that. The Nettle skill has been deleted and instead Retreating Shot was added. This skill is similar to the Bowmaster one and is great for additional jumps and for avoiding boss attacks. And like all other Explorer classes, the Weapon Booster skill and Soul Arrow skill have been turned to passives. Only 1 set of arrows is needed now at all times once you put 1 point to your Soul Arrow skill, which is really convenient. Training in second job is pretty okay, not that different from the current marksman, but the additional mobility in the air from Retreating Shot is pretty useful. In third job you unlock your enhanced arrow skill, which is your new mechanic that's replacing the range one. Every time you attack an enemy, you'll stack up to 3 stacks. Then the next attack is enhanced, dealing more damage, and the attack gets even more range and does more lines. It's like a big explosion happening at once. You'll still be using the second job piercing attack, who gets enhanced by this enhanced arrow skill. Over the course of the job advancements, your piercing attack will keep getting stronger and stronger and better and better. The old attacking skills, Explosive Bolt and Dragon Breath that you had in third job, have been removed. Your bird got a makeover and is now Articuno from Pokemon. This is the only memory that marksmen get to keep from their old days when they still had ice attacks, I guess. A new attack was added as well with the remaster called Freeze's Wings, which was an attack done by your Birdo, but its attack was again replaced a week later for Volt Swift. This skill shoots out a bunch of arrows all around you and has a 10-second cooldown. To me, this looks good because else you were limited by where your Pokemon was flying around. Similar to the archers, marksmen get their own personal teleporter in third job. They can use the skill again to get beamed back to the location they installed it in with a short cooldown, but as a trade-off, the hookshot skill was unfortunately removed. That was mostly it for third job actually. Some improvements to grinding, and archers can teleport around the map now with their placedown teleporter. Grinding was good, the new skill that hits a large area around you was pretty nice to use. No massive improvements per se, but some good changes for early level grinding I'd say. Fourth job is where the flash gets added. Your enhanced attacks get a lot bigger and flashier and the screen darkens for a few frames when that procs. I didn't really have any trouble while playing this class with the screen going dark for a few frames, but for some reason it was really annoying for me to look at while I was editing this video. Hopefully it is something that marksman mains can either get used to or this still might get changed in future updates. I'm not too sure how to feel about it personally. Your new and improved snipe skill gets added in 4th job as well. I actually really like the looks of this one, and similar to your piercing arrow, this skill will also be enhanced after attacking 4 times. But with the additional added effect that marksman gets a 15-second buff that increases final damage and ignore enemy defense. Snipe feels good to use, but drinks a lot of MP early on, holy moly. Also, the cooldown of this skill has been removed, and so has the hyper passive skill that removed that cooldown. A new passive hyper skill was added in its stat that increases the amount of hits done by Snipe by 1, so 1 more line for that attack. Monsters hit by Snipe will also get a debuff, that bullseye above their head. Snipe will deal 3 additional attacks of 105% damage against marked enemies, so that's quite nice as well. Both Arrow Illusion and Sharp Eyes received an updated look. Besides that, from what I could tell, the other passives actually remained the same. And while these changes to marksmen are nice and in my opinion a lot better than that range mechanic that they had before, I do think that their skills are still incredibly straight. Personally I was just hoping for ever so slightly more vertical range. But the biggest buff for this class out of everything that I mentioned so far is that their split shot 5th job skills duration has been increased from 60 seconds to 72 seconds. Finally, this class is playable now for 12 seconds longer than before. By the way, for this video, do not look at my damage, please. This is the very first character on the test server world that we did, and without any legion, link skills, gear or mastery books, this character's damage can look pretty underwhelming. And also keep in mind that more balance changes will be added on the 18th, so actually in 3 days from now. So we'll check back on this class around that time to see if any other big changes were made. And that was already the Marksman, a bit of a shorter video today, but yeah, not that much crazy stuff happened for this class. What do you think about it? Let me know in the comments. Next up is Best Class Paladin, who got their ice, fire and lightning element skills removed and is now the holiest of warriors. That video will be up tomorrow. And that was all for today. As always, many thanks to our members for making this video possible. Thanks to Niels de Comic, Rama Waar, Sebastian Hanoi, FLX, Riley Os, Terry Kim, Verice, Cody Mora, Wiley, Francisco Sousa, History Cannon, Backspace, OTI, Saffronix, Lonzo, BG Extremes, Anwar NHI, Frank Bouquet, Ziggy Deer, Flidiot, Beamer WT, Knifesuit, Chin125, Cloudfix, Gusus Rodriguez, Froggy11, Sir Tito655, Gleason, Brendan Cam, Vira, Trevor, Michael Machaka, Ratius, Lucky Beats, Justin Vale, Silvio Nato, Stevie Zhang, Afterlord _MS, Heopan, CMAC, Striker Elk, NokMSS, Niu, Taiduan Pan, Victor Sunstrom, Radicals the Alien, Stanislaus Kusumo Vegas, Riser RU, Eddie Reacts to Things, Dular, Gummy Bullet, Mr. Inark, Lovebird, Ref Soli, Ruski TV, Yo Mama, Matthias Simonson, Caveman, oh yeah, Galando Belavia, I'm disappointed, my name is Coppersan and I'm super cute XOXO, clap for the moment and PC Game Life. Thank you all so much for watching, stay safe and happy mapling!